Today I'm going to be tying up one of the most popular flies in recent years called the Kinermony Killer. So it's a bright fly, so I'm going to use white thread as an underbody. And I'm going to add a butt and a tag, I guess all is one. And I'm going to use size 4 glow bright. So I've just doubled it up because of the thinness. And I'm going to secure that in on top. And the white thread right down to the hook points. And then bring the white thread back up again. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to twist that red floss to create a nice tag. Okay, then secure it in. A few turns. And just cut off our excess. Then, just to protect that tag, you can add a bit of super glue or a bit of varnish. I like to actually use this Rimmel 60 seconds, quite quick drying stuff, as you can guess by the name. Okay, and this is ideal for butts and tags. I wouldn't use it for heads, or not usually. So the tail of the fly is hot orange and yellow. So this is just a mixture of basically Cascade colours. What I've done is I've pre-mixed them and pre-stacked them. Okay, so you might have seen me do this before, but I have a video explaining how I do it to save a lot of time. Okay, which means I can then just have these. There's always a few wee bits that maybe slip, but I have a length ready to go. In terms of length, you probably want about 1.5 to 2 lengths of the hook. And before I add that on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to level off the body a little bit, just so it doesn't kick up too much against the tag. Okay, because bucktail can splay. I'm going to secure it on slightly up from the tag. Okay. I'm just pinch and loop. I'm going to put it on quite lightly. Okay, and then before I put any pressure to secure it in, I'm going to put on a few strands of crystal flash. This is just pearl. I'll cut those to the size afterwards. Okay, they're just on top. And then just holding up the tail. And a few loose turns, nothing strong or you'll splay that bucktail. And just securing that tail down. Okay, careful whenever you're unraveling your bobbin that you don't apply pressure. Once you've got enough, you're happy with that, then get a bit of super glue. And again, this is so you don't need to apply pressure and gives you a good secure hold. And put on probably about 1 inch or 2. And just a few turns around that butt section. Okay, and then you're going to apply pressure as you go down. What you can do then is trim off your excess as you go along. I don't really have that much excess, so that'll actually form a nice taper. Okay, and I'm going to trim off some of the crystal hair, as it would be quite long. I want it about just slightly shorter than the tail in places. Okay, happy enough with that there. So just neaten up things, level out the body, keep the thread going. And the body's in 2 sections, so you'll probably notice this is a Cascade style fly. You can obviously tie it as a flamethrower, which is the original. So I'm going to just add on some holographic silver. And that's going to be the rear body. I'm going to secure it on at the top. While I'm doing that, I'm going to secure in some silver wire at the bottom. Okay, just a few inches before the butt, and then to give a bit of security whenever we're adding it on, I'm going to add in some more super glue. And that means that if the tinsel unravels, it'll only unravel 1 turn. It'll also give a more secure fly. Okay, so that's halfway up the body. So then we'll just do 1 full turn. And then just some touch and turns. Let's bring that up. until you get about halfway. Can be a wee bit more or less, it's up to yourself. A few turns to secure it in, and then trim off your excess, neaten it up. Okay, then for the front it's black floss. So what I've got is, this is uni floss I'm using today, so it's very thin, so I'm just going to double that up the way I would for the likes of the glow braid, and then put that in on top. And then bring my thread on down where my wing's going to go. Okay, touch and turns. Just wrap that forward. Apologies. Okay, just keep it going. Then we'll get our thread and we'll secure it in nice and tight. Trim off as you go along, just to try and save bulk. Okay, and then we'll wind up our hackle about 4 or 5 turns up the body. Okay, secure that in. Always like to secure the wire or the tinsel underneath whenever I'm using a wing, because you don't want that wire to kick up the wing too much. You want the wing to be nice and flat on these kind of shrimps. For the wing I'm going to use, this is black fox mask, but I'm using the sides of it, so it's probably more fox pelt. A bit more length than the main mask itself. It's a nice soft hair. Okay. So what I like to do is I like to grab the end of them and then just remove the underfur. You can keep that as dubbing as you want for other flies, but it just removes all that bulk. Okay, because it's quite a large fly, there's a bit of a wing to it. Okay, and I want it to go to the end of the hook basically, maybe a wee bit further. Okay, what I'm going to do this time, I don't normally do this, but with this fox mask it's easy enough. I'm going to just trim it off. I'm going to use pinch and loop method, and then I secure it down so it's nice and flat. And as always, I like to grab a bit of super glue, secure that in. That means that won't go anywhere. Okay, while the super glue is still tacky, we can start with our first hackle. So there's 3 hackles. So the first hackle is yellow. So what I've done is I've broken off the tip and exposed a few fibres. And I put that in the wet super glue, and that'll give me an extremely secure hold. No need for wax at this stage then. Then I pull those fibres back. Just being careful not to secure any in. And the other way. Okay. And then just start to train the fibres to point inwards by using the back of your scissors. Okay, just make sure that super glue is all dry, which it is. And then we'll probably do 2 turns of the yellow. Okay, make sure your hackle stalks are touching turns. I've removed a little bit of the excess, or what I suspect to be the excess, just for a neater secure hold. Okay, and then I secure that in. A couple of turns. At this stage I can add wax. Okay. Trim off your excess. And then next we have the orange. So at the moment it looks very similar to the Cascade. Okay, so again I've got the wax on the thread. A few turns in at the break. Draw my fibres back. And then just bring your thread back up to the hackle stalk of the yellow. Okay. And we'll just start to train those fibres in. Probably only going to do 1 turn of this, because we want to make sure there's plenty of blue in it to give that proper Kinermony colours. secure that in. I misjudged the amount of fibres, but that's grand. We can actually get those secured in the next time round. Keep on topping up on your wax. Okay, and then the final hackle is going to be blue. So again, I just break off the tip, and at that break secure in. Then draw the fibres back. Okay, and then just use your scissors again, just to double those fibres back. Use a wet hand when needs be. Careful that your stock doesn't go on top of any of the previous hackles. Okay, you won't get that. It won't splay as good. Sometimes the hackles just don't want to play ball. We'll do that again. Okay, and then should have enough for another turn. Okay. Now then, I'm nearly there. So this has jungle cock eyes. Okay, so get our jungle cock and we'll just do one on each side. This is going to form eyes. Okay, and just tie those down ever so lightly, 3 or 4 turns. And have a look first of all. Just make sure they're parallel to each other. Okay, and I'm happy that there. So what I'm going to do is I'll get my super glue. This will do 2 things. One, it'll secure in the jungle cock, but 2, it'll let me cut off the thread because I'm going to change colour now. Okay, but before I do that and the super glue is drying, I'm going to trim off the excess. Okay. We'll just add on our glow bright as if we're adding on thread. Okay. You do 1 or 2 layers depending on how many wraps you can get in, depending on how big your head is. But don't forget, people use big fluorescent cones. They're going to be a lot bigger than your head. Okay. Use a little bit of super glue again. There's a few parts I can see the white on the thread, and I know that I'll get it if I have super glued wraps because it won't slip. Okay. Now all I need to do is do my whip finish. A few turns. And that is the end of your 10. That's a Kinermony Killer, folks. Cascade style. Hopefully you found it useful. As always, if you did, hit that subscribe button and do check out the other videos coming up on screen now. Until next time, thanks very much. All the best.